Hey guys, welcome to another video here with Queen City Reefs and more. Today, we're going to do the same thing we did with the Mega Matrix. We are going to do a three-part series of the Red Sea Reefer Peninsula 650. I'm actually excited because this is one tank that I know I haven't done a lot of updates on. I don't know why. To be honest, this came to life during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I had to work from home full time and it was in this office. And then through, if you actually go back to some of my videos, it'll show you when I set up this office, how I built it at first, what it's transformed to. And then I'm gonna give you a little quick tour anyways here in a minute. But it happened during the pandemic when I knew that I had time. I would spend my lunchtime either sitting in front of the tank, eating lunch or cleaning my tank, doing the quick maintenance of cleaning the glass and all that stuff. So now I'm back in the office and it's been a little bit harder. And anytime that I put in, like I do the maintenance, I do the water changes, I do the cleaning the glass, I do all that for all the tanks. But that tank over there is what's gotten most of my attention with dosing and all that stuff. And this I'm still manually dosing, manually testing, not as often as I should. And therefore, of course it suffered. Not a lot, but I would say it suffered. But without further ado, let me walk you in here. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of what I got going on over here.
Pas de soleil, 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 pas de soleil.
So here is the far end. When you first walk into the office, as you saw, this is exactly the first thing I see, which is the long end. And to be honest, it's one of my favorite parts of the tank, just because of the depth that you see within. And so I've been trying to figure out what to do with this area right here to just give it that showpiece type of coral. It goes without saying we're gonna talk about corals, right? You're gonna have to excuse me on the names and everything because I'm not good at the pronunciations, but this is a Sinorina. I do want to mention that I don't have any filters on this camera. I know on some of my previous videos I said I would, and I actually did buy them. But the more and more I've messed with this camera and taken pictures of my family, because it serves a double purpose. I use it for my videos here and I use it for family pictures. And the more and more I've messed with this, I've learned how to use it. And so I've actually adjusted the white balance to make sure that the actual tank looks as non-blue as possible, pretty much. So no, you won't get much of what the corals glow like. And then you have a green, which doesn't actually look green. It was on the verge of death not too long ago, and it's coming back. And in a red Goniopora. Right there in the middle, you'll see another Goniopora that was sold to me as a rainbow Goni. It was doing okay, and then I was having fluctuations with alkalinity, but I'm still in the process of trying to get an alcatronic for this tank for stability purposes. So now we're on the other side, and you'll see right there, right in the middle, you'll see that I have the other Goni I was talking about, which is a pink with yellow tips Goniopora. And that's all the Gonis. So now let's discuss what else I have. And as you can see, I have a torch. It doesn't have a name. I didn't buy it with a name. Then you have your pink frog spawn, greens frog spawn, I have an A can that I put on a disc, because if there's something that you'll notice about this tank, and that is that there is a lot of aptasia. So before I put it on this disc, it was located in a rock that is currently infested with aptasia. And it was, as you can see on the sides of it, it was stinging the heck out of it. Therefore, I decided to put it on the disc and make it easier for me to be able to remove it if aptasia start growing on it, and at least kill those aptasia to make sure that they're not stinging it. The camera's gonna be going in and out of focus on the corals because, of course, these fish love to be the center of attention. Towards the top here, you'll start noticing that I have nothing but hammers. This is a branching one. These two over here are wall hammers, branching hammer. Pretty much, you know, the hammer family right there. And I'm thinking, you know, eventually I'll buy some more to start filling up these areas. But I am in no hurry, especially because I'm barely getting this tank back to stable. And I want to make sure it stays there before I start purchasing anything else. The closer we get to the overflow, the more you are going to hear the slurping sound. And that's because if there's one complaint I have about this Reefer Peninsula, is the ability to fine tune the drain to quiet. And sometimes I'm able to get it to be quiet, I'm able to get it to be more silent. But out of nowhere, a day later, so it goes out of whack, like if someone moved it or something, and it starts gurgling again. So yeah, I'm just having to live with it for now. Now in front of you, you will see more coral, and you know, honestly, you're gonna have to ignore the aptasia because I'm starting to do so. You'll see this guy right there looking at it on the far right hand corner up top. Yeah, he doesn't touch any of it. It's like he's looking, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? It's right in front of you. Go for it, eat it. Yeah, no, that's not a normal filefish for sure. You'll see I have lobophilias right here. I thought that lobophilias could live together. Either there's different species of them, and I'm assuming that's probably what it is. But as you can see right here in the edge of it, this one was actually stung by, I can't remember which one of these two it was, but I had them a little bit too close, and I guess the other one was winning because this is the only one that actually suffered from it. So I keep them a little bit separated, as you can see. This one actually, someone dug it out, and so I have to kind of replace it. But then I have a red bowerbanky right over there, which has been doing great. To my knowledge, those are supposed to be a little finicky, not as hardy as other corals, and yet, well, with the issues that I've had with this tank, that has not lost a beat. So right over here, you'll see what they call a hedgehog galaxia, and then behind that you see a Duncan that coloration wise it looks a lot like the one that I already have, but those tentacles are a lot thicker. And so I was debating whether to keep it and grow it out, but then like coloration wise, again, it's the same as the one I already have. So I may move it to my other tank, or I'll probably just end up selling it. Right behind that, you'll see a long tentacle toadstool that is doing great, but isn't getting a lot of light. But so far, I mean, as you can see, it looks fine. The one that I don't think is doing that great is the other one. That's a short tentacle toadstool. So I'll be moving that one eventually to one of my other tanks. And there's no point in having two here. Now we're at the other side of the tank. Here you'll see that I have 3 chalices. I want to say this is called the Pink Boobies. I was given that as a Goku something chalice and a Gatorade chalice. That's supposed to be a cotton candy, I believe, torch coral. Then here's the other Duncan that I was talking about that I already have, that's a colony. This one right here is one of the ones that was suffering with my swings of alkalinity. And then I do have another torch right behind that, a purple one. It's an actual Joker, I think is what it's called. That's a purple tentacles with the green base. Alright, so just like the other Ghanies, these right here also suffered through the swings that I had, and this one actually somehow ended up under the sand, and I found it, so luckily it was still somewhat alive, and I decided to put it on this plate as I feel that it's better for me to take care of and make sure it doesn't go under. Then you'll see this Space Invader Pectinia. And right above over here you will see one that also fell in the sand downwards, and I did not notice it until it was a little bit too late and lost a few heads, but there's one still there and it looks like it's coming back, so just keeping my fingers crossed. Oh, and by the way, that's a blasto. Here's a look at my hammer garden. And last but not least, you will see my little Scully garden here. I have no clue how that guy ended up in there. So I'll have to pull it back out and put it on this rock here, which is where I'm trying to build my Scully garden. Here is the tank as it stands today. Those are the corals that I have so far. Actually, you know what? I do have another Scully which is green. Not your typical like bright neon green, like sort of yellow green. That is sitting in my QT tank right now because it was not doing well here. And the mouth seemed to be gaping. And so I moved it to see if maybe it would do better there. And sure enough, it's actually coming back. Now, who's to say that this guy's not the culprit on what the issues that I've told you I've had? I mean, I know some of you probably will be like, well, have you thought maybe it being that guy or maybe it being the copper band? I have thought about it, but you know, I know I mentioned in the beginning that I'm working from the office, but I'm actually working from the office 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And so the 2 weeks off means that I work from this office here while I'm here. And therefore I'm able to keep an eye on these guys, and while I'm here I do not see them peck at any of these corals. And so here is the office. This is normally when we will come in and have coffee or listen to music. I mean, but if those that don't know me, I love listening to music, so you'll find that I have speakers almost everywhere. So this is our view. Normally we'll keep these open but close them for the video so that I don't want to get any reflection on the tank. Little sitting area over there when I'm working on the tank. Instead of sitting on the floor, my knees aren't that great anymore. And this is my desk. This is also where I will sit and work on all my videos and editing and all that stuff. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for stopping by. If you have not considered subscribing, I really hope that you do consider subscribing, that you consider hitting that like button. Leave a comment below. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see, you want me to talk about. Until then, I will catch you on the next one.
What? Reef.